What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I am not a beast, aka
Keith.
Well, thanks there, Mr. Peter Griffin. I appreciate the help on that intro. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into the video. I'm assuming if you clicked on it and you're here, you understand that we are going to be going through a breakdown on the settings that I use. Now, disclaimer up front and center, I am not the best player in the world, and this is not the only settings or key bindings that you should look at and try out. By all means, if you have some of your own, do some trial and error and test out what works best for you. This is just what I use currently. So without further ado, let's hop over here. We'll just quickly run through the settings before we get into the controller bindings and graphical settings as well. So, enable crossplay, targeted recommendations. You know, I might take that off. I don't know. I think that's gonna be your little HUD when your teammates are either calling for the ball or when you can throw it to them. Player outlines, I like that because it kind of gives you a little silhouette outline on your player that's the same color as the team you're on. Don't do the follow camera because I don't always want to be looking in the direction I'm going. Ball focus activation, I have it on toggle. It by default will come as hold, and I personally don't like that because I like to just click L2 real quick to toggle on, and then I can quickly just toggle off again whenever I don't want it to be on. Make sure your camera shakes are off, as that just gets annoying and there's no reason to have it. I took the display controls off because I have played long enough that I don't need to sit there and see what controls to use. I have subtitles turned off somewhere. That's somewhere different. I believe I turned down the name tag scale and the interface scale a little bit just for my personal preferences. Again, this is mainly going to be all on your preferences when it comes to gameplay. Braking and tiptoeing I would definitely leave on hold. You don't want to toggle because then you have to re-click and toggle off. I just think it's easier and more advantageous to keep it on hold so you can let go whenever you're ready to start rolling again. Throw activation again, hold, because if you do toggle, you just hit your L2 and then it's automatically going to start filling your meter, and then if you hit it again, it's going to throw it. I mean, I think that could have its advantages and disadvantages, so I've just left it on hold. Didn't mess with any of that stuff. So here's where we're going to get into a little bit of personalized recommendations. I have maxed out my horizontal look and vertical look sensitivity just due to the simple fact that when you're looking for your teammates to throw it around, it by default is way too slow. Once you get to the higher ranks and people are playing faster, you really need to be able to whip your camera around quickly to find a teammate to get the ball out to. The horizontal throw and vertical throw sensitivity I did increase a little bit. I think I'm going to go up a little bit more, probably to 50, just because to me it seems a little stiff. Like, you want to be a little bit slow so that you don't overcorrect or overestimate where you should throw, but I think you should increase it a little bit just so that you can get your aim down a little bit better. Vibration, if you want to turn it off, you can. I typically leave it on. I like that immersion that it gives. Move dead zone and look dead zone I decrease just because I have a brand new controller, so I want to make sure as soon as I put the input onto my controller that it reacts in game. I don't do keyboard and mouse, so I can't really give you much there. Audio, that's all strictly preference. So here, graphics, it automatically resets it to borderless. I typically like to go to full screen, but I guess I sometimes leave it on borderless too, just because it automatically keeps getting reset to it. Just one of those other bugs that Mr. Ubisoft and all of them, that whole team needs to get worked out. Obviously take VSync off so you don't have any issues with that messing with your the video while playing. Bring to foreground when match is found. So if you have that on, if you tab out and you're looking at the internet or you're looking at Facebook or you're looking at Instagram, whatever you're doing while you're loading, and I mean loading like 12 hours of loading on this game right now until Ubisoft gets on top of it. But once you do find that match, it'll bring it to the game to the foreground, so you do not miss out I have it off just because I left my volume on, my audio, so that I can hear when I get that match. I've left that on. I don't know why, but I did. I've turned down my quality because this game's not optimized very well at the moment. Let me apply the changes there. So here's where I have my controls. I haven't adjusted a whole lot, and we're going to only look at controller because I'm on controller. So all this is going to be pretty much the same as looking around and everything. Jumping is still, it's labeled as Xbox, but I play PlayStation, so I mean, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. Jump is still A or X. Throw is still L2 or LT. Now that shows the right button pad, but I actually switched this to R3. So my magnetic pass, I switched to R3 just because when it was circle or B, you can't look around unless you're playing claw. You can't. I don't play claw. So some people play claw, some people play, I guess, standard controller holding, and I play standard. I cannot do claw. It feels really awkward to me, so I just play standard. And so if you're like me, it's going to be hard to, I mean, it's impossible to look around with the right analog stick and then hit circle at the same time. You have to let go of the stick to hit circle and vice versa. So I had switched that to actually, again, like I said, R3, so clicking down on that right analog stick so I never have to let go of looking around while trying to get a magnetic pass out to a teammate that's up on the wall or zooming across or wherever they are. I can automatically look at them and pass at the same time. And so my look back that was on R3, I put to Y or triangle, and that's just because it is a mechanic that you want to use. It's a binding that you want to use, but it's not going to be readily needed, so to speak, just to kind of quickly glance back and check what's going on behind you. Say if you're rolling down the straightaway with the ball. And tackle is still the same, extra square, pump still the same. Like I said, pretty much everything else is the same, but I do highly recommend changing out that magnetic pass so you can at least look around while trying to pass the ball. So that is my basic rundown of my settings that I use. I hope that that helps you out. I hope that maybe you can get a good grasp. I mean, I know we didn't change a whole lot, but I do highly recommend the sensitivity and the magnetic pass buttons. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will be uploading more tips and gameplay on Roller Champions along with other games throughout. So, by all means, stick around, hit that notification bell so you can be one of the first to see what I think will help you in Roller Champions to progress and become the highest rank that you possibly can. So y'all have a great day, appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next video.